friends and fellow gamers, I am back in the NES block. Oh my gosh, it's been like, what, a full year since I was last at a GDQ? But it's good to be back. Unfortunately, I have seemed to have misplaced my beanie somewhere. I was wearing it a moment ago, I swear. Maybe I'll find it, maybe someone will, I don't know. Frankly, we don't have to care. Because we're here to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and for those who are unaware, this is a NES home port of the arcade game, the first beat 'em up, which is not to be confused with the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that most people would know, you know, that one, the one that goes dun 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 ba 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 whatever. I actually run the original arcade version, and these skills can translate into this version as well. However, the big thing to keep in mind here is that this game has some extra stages in it, much like how Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo does. So there will be some differences here, and we're going to see how well I can do, because this is essentially the closest thing to a sight read, but with experience of playing the game casually and also doing its original counterpart. So time will begin once I select my character, and yeah, we'll do one turtle, of course, because I'm not really playing with anybody else. So it is on good authority that Raphael this time is the best turtle as compared to Donatello, and it seems that his super attack or his special attack is the same as the others, so good on him, I guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Cowabunga! And we got a fire! So hang on, April! Yes, indeed. And yeah, I can skip that. Right, almost forgot about that. So, the main aspect of this game, overall, is defeat the enemies as fast as you can, at least having one on the screen. Well, in the original game, at least having one on the screen lets you scroll the camera even further. Not so much in the home version's case, which I kind of see what they were doing here, you know? It makes a little bit of sense. Games might be coded a little differently compared to this and that. Kind of a similar difference with Turtles in Time, at least to my good authority knowledge. The good news is that these foot soldiers can still very much do friendly fire on each other, or at least circumstances depending anyway. Looked like right there I was juggling that guy or trying to hit that guy, and then, you know, something happened when that purple one hit me. You know how it is. One thing I especially love about this particular version of the stage is that we got the Pizza Hut logo in the game this time around. It's a lot more blatant advertising here, which I find personally funny to see in the NES style. Now those wrecking balls or iron balls coming down from the stairs, however the foot soldiers set that up in April's apartment, that's beyond me, but unfortunately they do not do friendly damage as they do in the OG. So, or at least they may do, and the hitbox was just a bit off, but no, as far as I can tell, they don't. So, now in terms of your special attack, the execution is just a little bit different. You're noticing that you're going to notice right here, I'm sliding my finger from the A button to the B button. That's how it goes here. Whereas in the original arcade game, you press both buttons at the same time, attack and jump. And I imagine this was done to allow the games to be a bit more differentiated from one another, you know, considering that one hardware has a rather non-specific button set, whereas this one, actually, you know, no, there's no excuse on this one. They could have easily just did it the same way the arcade game did. But I guess they wanted to be able to differentiate the two. Either that, or, you know, just the input response of the NES controller really going on here. I mean, that's about that. Not much else to it. April's apartment is considerably longer in this case compared to the original, because there'd be a lot less room before going into her actual room. So this stage in the arcade game is much shorter. But this is where that is. We got the Roadkill Rodneys. We got 3 of them coming at us. Which I actually, come to think of it, I do think there is still the ranking system involved in this game, like in the original arcade, where the better you play, the more enemies will start to spawn, and they become more aggressive for it. So, all that matters at this point is just trying to take a few intentional, well, maybe not so intentional deaths. That in itself can be a bit of a concern. And if I'm not mistaken, to that end, this game, I do believe, has limited continues, so I can't really expect to do that now, can I? Yeah, Roadkill Rodneys are especially a pain in the neck to take out. The dive kick in the original game was the easiest way to do so, but from the looks of things, they are easier to hit with your special move, so there's a bit of a nice trade-off here in difficulty in that way. So here comes everybody's favorite charging rhino. It's Rocksteady. There's a line that I haven't said in that way for a hot minute. Felt good to be back on that front, and yeah. So trying to stun lock him is not always easy on the NES version. In fact, you could say that, yeah, arcade has it a little bit better, but lo and behold, it is possible to try and lay the smack on him like so. Yeah, that was a good chain of hits right there. He's almost down. Yeah, this game has the character's health flashing this time around, so no moonwalk going on this time. Shredder's swooping in to kidnap April. And now here we are in Scene 2, where our health bar completely recovers. So luckily, taking that death should ease things up a little bit. Tragically, though, we do not have the Sewer Bushido skip equivalent here going on in this game, whereas in Stage 2 of the arcade game, it is possible to go beyond the section with the skateboarding woman and cause the game to immediately scroll and just completely have me not have to face a certain group of foes, so on and so forth. Now, Shredder did appear on that TV just like before, only this time he did not say the iconic, "Tonight I dine on turtle soup." But stay tuned, folks, you won't be entirely disappointed, because that line may make an appearance after all. Just take my word for it. I'd never steer you wrong, chat, now would I? I don't think so. But, yeah, taking on more foes here. Allowing the camera to scroll. Coming up soon will be the skateboarding lady. Pizzas do exist within this game. April's apartment did not have one, just like in the original, so there was no way for me to recover my health at that point. But here we are, taking out these guys. There she is. You can still hit the skateboarding woman. Be nice to passerbys that you don't know, though. So says Sonic. Because doing the complete opposite, that's no good. Wait, this is NES block. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be doing that. Never mind. What can I say? It's the evening, folks. So as we're going through, I do want to make a bit of a shout-out as we're all here in the current moment with GDQ. I'm actually doing commentary from my buddies Mr. Cab and Conster. Mr. Cab 55 and Conster 786 are doing, at least at the time of this recording, Contra Operation Galuga coming tomorrow morning. And to anybody that is able to catch the VOD on the GDQ YouTube, that would be great. I very much am looking forward to helping them make the segment go extra smooth and extra fun. Alongside our pal, a T-Tree. And probably one of the big reasons why I'm here with y'all right now, so big kudos to Mr. Cab for helping me get here as well. Really appreciate you, man. Alright, so here comes Bebop. And just like in the original incarnation of Stage 2, this guy has a nasty uppercut, and will also try to charge at you if he so chooses to. Looking a bit low on the live counter here. Got to be a bit careful. Can't afford to get that game over just yet. That's never fun. Oh, that can't be good. Oh, really? Well, you sure got me there. That's a pretty flashy game over screen, though. I'll give this game that. So we got 3 continues from there. Gonna try that all over again. Unfortunate, but hey, that's just how the game goes sometimes. Unfortunately, that does mean I am overall behind pace, considering we do have to start from the very beginning stage. We're going to do our best, though. I'll say that overall, if I do not complete this run, that's okay. I just wanted a good excuse to be doing this version of the game for a long while. We'll make it work somehow. I feel that's only fair. Now, sadly, I will not be here for the rest of NES Block, at least in person, come Thursday. Yeah, just one of those things where I want to thank all the folks that make GDQ possible. Always happy to see so many familiar faces from the several various chats and communities I've been a part of. Gonna be a shame to leave Pittsburgh, but rest assured I will be feeling pretty good about myself once I get home nice and safe and continuing to cheer everybody on for the rest of the event. That said, I do leave tomorrow, so we'll see what fun awaits on the rest of Wednesday itself. I'll go ahead and lock in, though. Try to take it nice and easy here. Oh yeah, I just had to scroll down a little bit further. Gee, thanks, game. Oh wow. No, that's when I should have said gee, thanks, game. Never mind. My timing is off, as ever. I would argue that dive kicks in this game are very easy to pull off, because they are your mid-air attack. Once you're in mid-air, you don't have to hold down, you don't have to hold diagonally. That's just how it goes. That's all it is. That's all there is to it. Just a few more enemies before we try get our revenge match against Bebop. And then it will be straight up onto the sewers. Alright, here we go. One thing I do miss with this game is the dialogue during the boss fights. Yeah, playing aggressively as per usual. Ooh, yeah, that was bad timing. Yeah, I'm gonna just take it a little safe this way. Obviously, doing your special attack deals more damage. But if you're never in a good position to just deal it safely, then you might as well be putting yourself in your worst case scenario. Because again, limited continues, that's a home console choice. A home console decision in itself. That's just how difficulty do be sometimes. Alright, he's almost down. There we go. That's a bit more like it there. Can't catch a break from some good old pork chop, eh, Mad Mega? Huh. Yeah, I already had to burn and continue while you were away, so... Yeah, 2 continues. Not really sure. Gonna try and avoid that. I know safety deaths are never a bad thing, because I'm pretty sure this still is the ranking system that the arcade game have, yeah. So that's the worst part about it, because the more deaths you take, the more that lessens, but that's not a resource you got going here, so... Yeah. Gotta trudge on forward. Oh yeah, the good old Mausers here. Enemies that only really existed, like, 1 episode in the 80s cartoon that these games were clearly based off of. And yet, you know, at the end of the day, they became as popular as they were, all thanks to video games like this one, so. Other shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of the 2012 series have their Mousers to thank these Mousers for just being as iconic enough to have made a name for themselves, really. Got a little bit more foot soldiers in the way here. Got some more hydrodynamic foot soldiers, it seems. Making a little bit of progress here, though. And somewhere in the distance, I know I'm hearing somebody playing some Mega Man X. Probably the randomizer. My attention span is very OCD, folks. So I do apologize if me looking left and right in the camera is seemingly out of nowhere. Good news, we got a 1-up, so that's nice. Bad news. Stepping into the water from this point on still spawns missiles, so that's the game's way of trying to deter you from using the bottom layer for too long. We're past the grate.
You know whose plushie goes on?
I believe that plushie is Jaxler's. It's the Quagsire.
Quagsire?
Yeah. Now, if you really, really want like a fast way to lose a life without having to wait for your turtle to fall down and stuff, let a Mauser grasp you at 1 HP left. But I can imagine that not being as huge of an advantage in this version, so... Oof. Yeah, okay. Not so lucky this time. But good news, we are now on to the boss. It is Baxter Stockman doing a yippee-ki-yay. So I'm going to try and keep him in one position. Magic Pixel Trick is not viable here, where in the arcade version it was possible to, well, force him into a singular vertical movement, and thus making the special attack the easiest thing on the planet to get him with. Which is quite an upgrade for the guy, considering that, you know, without that going for him, he's pretty easy. Sure, he can be annoying,
Maybe.
but all he's doing is dropping Mausers and nothing more. You'd think this guy would get the memo, try to get a bit of an upgrade going on, but, I don't know, I'm not convinced just yet. There you go. Nicely done. The dock is down. Move all the way to the left. Get out of dodge, and lo and behold, tonight I dine on turtle soup. He said the thing! And notice that it's not Bebop and Rocksteady. No, not that one. Thank you, though. Bebop and Rocksteady normally would have a Stage 3 boss fight together, but not this time. Baxter Stockman actually is hinted to be in his fly form, which, you know what, good on him, because I figured that could have always happened in the original arcade version. So, home port doing what we didn't see at first, because on top of that, too, it seems like Central Park here, as well as New York City, is stuck in some kind of eternal winter by some weather gizmo shenaniganry from Shredder. So we're gonna do something about that. Got some bouncy snowmans over here. Those things will eventually bust open to reveal some smaller robots from within. And once those are taken care of, we push forward. Similar to how I could fall into the open manhole before the Bebop fight, I want to avoid those snow mounds, otherwise I'll get stuck, and that's a given time loss. I gotta say, we're hearing some nice Black Magic Woman by Santana going on in the background. Somebody playing some Guitar Hero 3 or Clone Hero. Ah, yes, the good old tradition of having to watch out for vehicles even though we have no clue where they're coming from.
I have some turtles.
That I am. Come take a seat, Sharky.
I don't know.
Whatever goes is whatever goes. This is NES Block, baby, and that's what we're here for right now. Alright, bots down, more snowmen on the way. I do not want to build a snowman, as a matter of fact, not while the Foot Clan has something to say about it. And what's with all these Pizza Hut signs in Central Park? I'm pretty... Like, the walls, I can understand. Like, the city streets, I can understand that. April's apartment, maybe not so much. This... Ugh. I'm so confused by it that my body's forcing me to yawn. Alright, so here we have the weather device. Now, I don't remember the name of this guy, but obviously he's original to this particular stage. I think the name is Tora. Some kind of a tiger. All the same, he's throwing rocks at me. So try to be dodging those, and then... Yeah, that little weather drone right there. That's what we need to bust down, but he's not going to let us get there without a fight, so... Nice little detail, though. Dang, that's unfortunate, meanwhile. Wow, this guy's really going in on the offensive and refusing to back down. For now, we're starting to see some real damage here. And I really didn't want to say it, but is the tiger a jerk this time around? The world may never truly know, but the answer may surprise you. Not letting that happen, buddy. You're gonna go down whether you like it or not. Ooh, ooh. That's not good. There we go. Clutch. I knew usually, whenever they're flashing that rapidly, I knew it usually takes like 3 dive kicks to take him down. Alright, weather drone's gone. Spring is here, folks. And now back to the regular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you all knew growing up from the arcades. It's a shame that your turtle won't emerge from the sewer manhole like with last time, but then again, it's not like we're coming out from the sewer this time around, so it does make sense. Smart decisions where they matter in game design. So you're gonna have to be very careful, considering I'm on 0 lives. But if I get lucky enough, I should be able to get a new one. Gotta keep the kill count going up, because every score you gain is going to be 1 kill. Gonna have to remember which one of the cars is going to drive out, but I'm almost positive it's one of the blue ones. Now, a little fun fact for you all, I actually did end up playing this game for Smite's Arcade Pit, which the first episode of the year for that was the Sunday where GDQ officially began, which was pretty cool. Had the pleasure of doing it with Leslie Pro _04. Went up against Wild Pomeranian and Atomic Collider, so do check it out if you can. I appreciate it. That barrel's gonna explode. Nicely done. That was probably the perfect timing without it needing to be. And incoming car. Nice. Move out of the way of these bozos. Alright. When did they learn that guns never truly harmed the half-shelled hero? For we are a lean, mean, green machine. Oof. And that's what happens when you're not looking before you cross the road. Don't take my example for it. Alright, coming up to the boss fight soon enough. Got some more enemies coming our way. Another one of those original to the game sections. Because normally we'd be, like, by the end by now. But it was not meant to be just yet. No, young grasshopper, you must show your patience, or whatever it do be. The master says so. And we have an April to save. Okay, so like I said earlier, Baxter Stockman's fly form is the boss that takes the place of Bebop and Rocksteady. And you could argue he's a bit of a pest in this way, because where Bebop and Rocksteady had 2 attacking entities at once, making it hard to double hit the both of them, Baxter Stockman is the height advantage. So him being able to float up there is never truly a fun thing. Gonna have to be very considerate of that, because again, dying here at this point would mean having to do the stage all over again. That's no good. Thankfully, his projectile attack doesn't really show good depth perception. Probably should get his eyes checked, if you ask me. But he's starting to weaken. Ooh. Trying to use a fly swatter on us, huh? Or what looked like one, anyway. Pretty, ironic. Now we've got ourselves a nice, good old stuck area. And he's done. Not even doing the rapid flashing this time around. No, sir. Alright, party bus. We got the kiss scene, folks. let's get to that secret factory now. We're back onto the highway of the Foot Clan. Shout out to my buddy Rotorstorm331. We got some more of the usual caliber of enemies coming our way. This game did not really add a whole lot in terms of like new enemies per se, so what you see is mostly what you get. I feel like not really much for me to say right now. I'm just gonna try and lock in, especially when you have hazards like that. But before I do shush myself, it is pretty good that we got the 400 range, which means another 1-up, so we're looking pretty smooth as can be. Come on. Ugh. I've received word up on high that Ellipsis is impressed with the ASMR of my button mashing going on, especially with the thumb sliding for my special attack. You're welcome. Man, I just cannot seem to get my luck straight with cars. Oh, good old missiles, by the way. Don't want to get caught in their explosions. Because that happens, just for a nice good old demonstration right there, and that was another one. Lo and behold. History does repeat itself. Yeah, these foot soldiers thinking they can just get by mugging me and all that stuff. I'll show them. I'll make them eat their words or thoughts or whatever. Foot soldiers are supposed to be silent. Not that I care much right now. I knew there was one missing. I just knew something wasn't quite right there. Okay, that should be enough. And now on to the second half of this here scene, which puts me in an auto-scroller. Enemies and defeating these enemies are a bit more mandatory than before. Okay, should be eventually getting close to the cutoff point here of being enemies in this Wait, what, Mad? What are you talking about, dude? He just said something very interesting before, for those who didn't catch it. What, Fallout vaults? Nice. Okay, that takes care of that stage then. Time to get on board, and oh, come on, who let Mikey drive? Really, guys? Let's bust this joint, come on. Bit of a stretch there. It is a little bit late over here, so it's no wonder that I'm yawning in the first place. Really. And for anyone that feels otherwise, go ahead, but I'm also not necessarily going to say you're right. Unless I know for sure you are indeed correct, which... you do you and all that shit. Needed a moment right there. Lasers! They're firing them! Blarg! We are getting pretty close to the end of the game. There should be 2 more stages after this. First, this is the follow-up to the highway. And then once we defeat that level's boss, it'll be down to our second and last original stage that the NES port of the arcade game added in. And featuring a, I'd argue, fairly beloved boss, one that you may or may not know from, the Hyperstone Heist, I guess? Seems pretty accurate. Again, this is supposed to be NES block, not Sega block. You know what? Maybe I don't want to die. Ever thought of that? Bad news is there's not really a nearby, so I can't really do anything about it. But it's also going to stink if I have to do it all over again. That was pretty, scary. Alright, no dice on that one. Aw, not too lucky. There's still another continue left. 2, in fact. Estimate-wise, it was a bit shaky, though, so... Well, for me, maybe not so much, because my body sure is getting tired. Yeah, that guy was just juggling like nobody's business. That's never a fun one. Never a fun one at all. They really are. Like, spear guys are probably one of the worst enemies you could have, sure, but no, those machine guns are just sheer annoying. Exactly.
Okay. I just wanted to get it out of your way, sorry. So yeah, someone stole my fucking cable. I forgot it on the TV. That's on me.
Sheesh.
But of all places, I would think the person would bring it back.
Like, yeah, I find it, I take it. It's like, that's fucked up, man.
I told Ellipsis, I'm like, if I find whoever has it, they're gonna have a safety issue on your hands. And they won't be able to use theirs for a long time. Fuck. Here, the person knew exactly what they were taking.
Okay, coming up to the next drill section, because it's that oversized corkscrew yet again. They're gonna drop some drones coming my way. These are not as easy to take care of compared to the arcade version. Luckily, they're reduced from 7 to 4. So it's much more manageable in that way, but you still got 2 groups of them, which therefore leads to that total of 8. So I'm pretty sure the arcade version actually did have 8 of them, and I just happened to be 1 digit off. Oh well. Math was never always easy when you have to be an adult, and it still isn't to this day. Whether your mindset's rusty or not, but you better believe that math can very well be one of the toughest things anyone has to learn. These guys giving me the jukes big time. Let's try this. That's not too shabby. Now I tried to do that funny little song that I'm not sure who came up with it, but like, aw, dang it, I shouldn't have taken that pizza though. That's unfortunate because now we're coming up to the Fun Police. This is Granitor. They still make him blue. They still give him some kind of bird-like beak mouth, despite his TV show counterpart having nothing of the sort. Yes, the mouth is in the right position. The problem is the way he looks makes it so hard to see. It just is. And Granitor normally takes the same amount of damage to a special attack as he would for a normal hit, so I'm just playing the long run at the end of the day in order to save Master Splinter. Well, that was surprisingly close on one particular attack and taking damage, but second time was not so lucky. Alright, Grand Tour almost down. Did see what it was like if I were to take a hit from this flamethrower, which is especially bad because we never like damage lag, and it looks like I accidentally stepped on the cord. That's on me.
Sorry, I just.
No, I wouldn't want that either. But yeah, we saved Splinter, and not the yellowest background that we ever did see, but that's okay. Ninja magic. All of this on the 7th floor of the parking garage. That's nuts. What is this, If you genuinely like that series, I've got nothing against you. I did too, so you do you, King. These guys do remind me a little bit of some people from, not Ricky and Vicky, what's the name of that Super Nintendo game? Rocky and Rocky, yeah. Somehow. Don't quote me on that. Come on, come out wherever you are, Tatsu. Anytime now would be perfect. And unfortunately, that first game over caused a very egregious time loss, so I was a little prepared for that possibility. Okay. Got some bamboo shoots coming out as spikes. A good old booby trap for an enemy base, if I've ever had to think of at least one. Oh yes. Here we go. The real enemies of the game. Health management is not looking good to it all that much here. And one eye is, to be very truthful with you all, forcing itself to close on me, so my vision is not doing the best right now. We'll try to make it through though. May very well be quite a bit of more over the estimate, but whatever works. As if nothing else, I'm not opposed to stopping after this level, but we'll find out. How'd I beat this one? Jump kicks won't work. There we go. Holy. But as if that wasn't bad enough, we got more. That's a bit more like it. Okay. Alright, Mad Mega, what do you say? And I do.
I
Alright, back to where I was before. Or almost. You know what, just for the hell of it. Who put the lights out? Classic. Yo, can we get back to the Tigers pretty soon? I could definitely use that. There we are. Sheesh, man. Ah, wrong move. That's a bit more like it. Especially with the damage output. Yeah, those paper tigers are just nuisances all across the board. Yeah, that's not good. So they want to play Scorpion? Well, this one's gonna sting. Not that I want to be so selfish about it, but there are so many ways to cook a crustacean, and I'd rather be one serve myself a nice old mean dish of revenge. But overall, this has been a nice experience. I'll definitely get better with this game even more than ever before. I'm just happy to do it for the sake of the folks here at NES Block. So win or lose, regardless of whether I get booted to the title screen or not, I just want to thank Mad Mega for always hosting these and bringing them to GDQ. It's a pleasure. Just nice to be able to do a little something while everyone's here. So thank you for all your hard work, and to all the people behind the scenes as well. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. I needed it. Alright. So that is in fact not Tatsu, but somebody that you do not want to mess with. Nothing to lose your head over, but the same could be said for them, if only they took it to heart. Ah, shell-shocked. Well, it was a good attempt while it lasted. Heck yeah. Well, I've already gotten most of my shout-outs out of the way, but overall, again, thank you for tuning into NES Block and supporting NES Block. I hope to do this again sometime. No guarantees on when that may be, but, you know, originally I had Excite Bike on the mind as well. Might put that to rest, as well as my eyes. But for all you watching, thank you for tuning in, and yeah, I got TempestMask1000 here on Twitch as well as YouTube. Any other social medias, you can hopefully find them linked to my profiles. Thank you all for, yeah, thank you all. Just have a wonderful night, and folks here at the time of this recording, a wonderful rest of your GDQ. Ciao, Michi.